Hey y'all, one of the biggest questions that gets asked for Genshin Impact is, well, can you play this game free to play, and what are some tips for newer players? So today I thought I'd share some of my favorite tips to help you not only get started in Genshin, but to also get Primo Gems along the way. Now, my first tip is to not spend Primo Gems on resin. Just do not do it. Resin is a naturally replenishing currency of sorts that will allow you to open up rewards for domains, boss fights, as well as ley lines. If you don't have enough resin, the game will allow you to spend Primo Gems to replenish it if you'd like to, and I highly suggest not doing that when you're free to play or new to the game. It will, like I mentioned, naturally replenish itself over time, and there are other things to do in the game, like decorate your teapot, farm mobs for materials, craft other materials, gather resources for cooking. You can actually cook, or, I mean, you could even go ahead and run around trying to finally get your favorite character to notice you, the important everyday Genshin things. My second tip is to skip banners that you don't want the characters for. Seriously, it's okay to not want to spend gems on a particular character or a particular character banner if you're not overly excited about them. Save up your gems for the banner that you really want to pull from instead. Next up, know your percentage odds when it comes to the wish system in Genshin. This means knowing the pity pool system and all that goes with it in order to maximize your spending. It's all written out in the detail section of each banner as to what your percentage odds are per banner for each type of character or weapon. And the history section will show you your pull so you can see how far away you are from a 4 or 5-star pull. Level each character you get to at least a level 20, even if you don't like them. When you ascend a character to levels 20, 50, and 70, you get a free Quaint Faint Orb. Getting a character to level 20 is one of the easier things you can do, so I always auto-level a character there even if I know I won't use them, just to get the free wish out of it. Tip number 5, take a peek at your tutorial. You'll know if you have a tutorial to look at if you have a question mark icon next to your min-map. If you do, either click on that icon or use the archive system to navigate over to your tutorial area. You get 1 Primo Gem per entry in the tutorial you look at. You'll know which you need to see by the red exclamation point next to it. You'll know you have all of them looked at when the icon next to your min-map goes away. If you're looking for more ways to get Primo Gems, check out your achievements. They all grant between 5 and 20 Primo Gems per. Not to mention, you can grind out for the name cards attached to them if that's your thing. And tip number 7, statues grant not only more stamina as you level them up, but Primo Gems as well. So ranking those up will help you save up for the next banner character that you want, and it will also help you not fall to your death when you decide to scale really tall mountains. And there are 3, currently at least in the game, 3 different sets of statues. There is one in Mondstadt, Liyue, as well as in Inazuma, so you can go ahead and level up all of those. Number 8, if you have a teapot, build the areas that your companions like. You can find blueprint sets for them in Tubby's store, and when you place them in your house or outside, your companions will show up in these favorite areas. After your initial conversation, you'll get 20 Primo Gems and other rewards from them. Each of these blueprint sets lists in the description what companions are going to like them, so at least to start, you can try to get ones that you have multiple companions for that'll like that area in order to maximize your resources. And one important thing to note about inviting them to this hangout area is that you do have to place a companion in your teapot first, and then they'll show up to that favorite area if they haven't yet already. Now, speaking of your teapot, don't slack on the trust rank with Tubby. It's a great way to get gems as well as spend more time with Tubby, who is literally the most adorable little burb teapot I've ever seen in my life. Next up, this one is by far the quickest and best way to not only get Primo Gems daily, but to also get friendship points with your companions, to get level up materials, and a whole host of other things. And that's your daily commissions. You get 10 Primo Gems per commission and then an additional 20 for finishing all 4 of them. To get your additional 20, you do have to check in with the Adventure Guild after completing the 4 commissions, and you can unlock your daily commissions if you haven't yet at Adventure Rank 12 after completing the quest Every Day a New Adventure. Now, Paimon's store has a few other ways to get yourself some wishes without actually spending cash. If you look at the Stardust Exchange or the Star Glitter Exchange, you'll notice that they actually use two different kinds of currency. Those are the currencies that you get from opening up wishes. So you can go ahead and use those currencies if you'd like in order to get yourself additional ones. Now, this tip is probably my favorite personally, and that is explore, explore, explore. One of the greatest parts of this game to me is exploring the world. And as a bonus, there are various chests of different qualities that you can find that will grant things like primo gems, level up materials, artifacts, etc. Not only that, but it'll help with your exploration percentage of each area, which will help your reputation with each of the major cities. Not to mention, while you're out exploring, unlocking waypoints, finding new areas, just interacting and unlocking domains, which you can also use as fast travel points, by the way, will help as well, just not only with getting primo gems, but completing that exploration percentage. Now, tip number 13, quests. Not just main story or character side stories or hangouts, but also random world quests. When you see a character with a blue exclamation point over their head, it means that they have a quest for you. Doing that quest may grant you primo gems or other rewards. Now, the best way to see what the reward you'll get for that particular quest is to look in your journal once you've accepted it. Then you can decide if you'll do it right now or later, depending on what you need for a reward in order to maximize your time. These are also a fantastic way to up your city reputation if you're grinding out the reputation system. Let's talk about the Battle Pass next. There are two tracks for it, which I know is very common with Battle Passes. There is a free-to-play and then a paid-for track. Now, the paid-for track does have two separate tracks that you can do. One has slightly more rewards than the other. However, the free-to-play has some pretty nice rewards. It has level up XP stuff. It's got Mora. It even has some wishes in it for you if that's something that you'd like to grind out. And the best part is with this battle pass, you can grind it out mostly passively. They have things like logging in daily, doing daily commissions, cooking, mining, etc. will all net you XP for your battle pass. However, do bear in mind that this battle pass is faster than most of the other games you might have come across. Most games are usually 3 to 6 months, whereas the Genshin battle pass is somewhere around the 40-ish day mark. So don't stress about leveling it all the way, as it'll come back around rather quickly. This battle pass does unlock at AR 20, and if you have any questions about unlocking the battle pass or using it, I do have a different video that talks about it in further detail. Now, next up, and this kind of goes along with the battle pass, if you're somebody that is going to do the battle pass, or you might be looking for extra minerals, Mora, cooking ingredients, etc., check out the expeditions. That's an option in the Adventurers Guild. Not only is this a great way to get stuff because it happens passively while you're just out doing stuff, but the minerals that you get in it will count towards your daily mining battle pass tasks. So let's say you're about to close up for Genshin for the day. Setting up your mining expeditions before you go will mean that when you come back the next day or whenever you decide to play again, you've already got some stuff mined and ready to go for the battle pass for the XP. And not to worry, if you don't have a lot of characters, you can send someone out on an expedition and still use them in your party. Now, my last tip is a bit of a tricky balance, but it's also super important, and that is to continue to up your adventure rank. It's a great way to not only help your characters get more powerful by being able to ascend them to higher levels, but it also will grant you things like primo gems, wishes, other materials that you might need down the road, even artifacts in some cases. However, if you're not ready for certain ascension tests, it's going to make your gameplay a little more frustrating as you won't have characters at a high enough level in order to fight the mobs that come with the world level increase. So my biggest suggestion here is not to rush jumping to the next ascension test until you're ready. But don't also sit on them for too long if you are at a lower level, in that you do need to keep upping your adventure rank to a particular point in order to unlock more story quests. So then that way you can keep moving with the story, character leveling, and get more powerful and get higher end stuff. So it, like I said, it is a bit of a balance, but once you feel comfortable enough in your world level, if you do find that you have an ascension test that you need to do and you're being blocked from certain story points, it might be a good idea to consider taking the test. However, the good news is if you're somebody that is waiting to bump up to the next rank after your ascension test, even if you decide to sit there for a while, you're still going to accumulate XP. I personally am sitting at AR 45 for a bit in order to gather more materials. I'd like to fight out a few more bosses, stuff like that. So that way I can get everybody to a higher level and not have to worry beforehand, or after rather, I ascend. So I'm still actually gaining XP and I don't have to worry because none of it will go to waste. But y'all, that is going to be it for me. Those are some of my top tips for new or free to play or both players. Hopefully this helped to get you started in Genshin Impact and that you're enjoying your time in the game. Thank you so much for joining me. I will catch you next time. Bye.